Okay, I'm going to get right into this conversation. I have some notes wrote down, but I don't want to stumble over the words. So I'm just going to go ahead on and start talking. I was looking at one of those shows. I don't know if it was TMZ Live or Entertainment Tonight, one of those shows, and they were speaking on The Bachelor. And coming out telling the world that he is gay. Now, I want to talk about not only The Bachelor, what is his name? Colton Underwood. I may be messing up the name, but Mr. Colton Underwood. And there's another fella I will be speaking on, the football player, sometime a while back. I think it was year 2014, one of those years, the football player, Dwayne Wright, Dante Wright came out and let the world know he also was gay. And what I have to say about DL, I'm not saying that they are DL, but in my own words, I have to say what's on my mind about these two uh, young men. Now, The Bachelor, I see. This is what I'm going to say this and not in a judging way. I've been around a very long time and I've met several type of guys, and I have met DL guys, and they would do anything by all means to keep that discreet that they are same gender attracted. They are attracted to same gender. So I want to speak now. This guy here, I had a god brother. We went to church together, everything sung in the choir, and I'm just gonna call it like it is. Now he, to keep his under wraps, he got involved with the young lady, and I think she was in the choir. I don't remember. This was back in the 80s, and I think she joined the choir. She was a member of the church, I do know. And so he got involved with her and started a family. They lived together like normal family. I said that to say this. Now, when you get other people involved just to keep your preference at bay, in my own words, I'm just going to use my own words, keep it a secret, getting other when you get other people involved and not being honest, that's wrong. That's wrong because you are not giving them a choice. And a lot of these guys, I'm speaking by experience, a lot of these guys, they do that. They go and date women to cover up who they really are because and I'm not blaming a lot of these guys. I'm not blaming because everyone's uh, situation is different. But I think it's very wrong when someone who is DL covering up go and get involved with the opposite sex, opposite gender. I don't like to use the word sex, opposite gender to keep concerned. They're concerned about what society thinks. And if you have to go through those extremes to keep your preference undercover, it's wrong. I I'm just saying it's wrong. Now this guy, he was on The Bachelor, and he, that didn't work out. So what I can say about Mr. Underwood is he was fighting. He was trying. Whatever reason he came out, I don't know. But a lot of these DLs, they do that. They go and they date women just to cover. And sometimes, I don't know, I've heard sometimes the women know, I don't know, and I'm going every direction I can with this topic. But I think DL is when people cannot be who they are, and there's reasons why. Society is very judgmental when it comes to same gender dating. Society is very judgmental. And that is why a lot of these men and women do what they do to keep it at wraps undercover. They'll go date the opposite gender just to keep it. So I'm going to say this. I believe a person, I'm sure we hear this all the time, should be able to date whoever they want to date. Why is it everybody else's business what goes on in the bedroom? They look at it in that way. They don't look at it as the people really have uh something in common. They enjoy each other, they care about each other, they have a great life with one another. Society doesn't see it like that. Society only goes straight to the bedroom with what's going on with in the bedroom. So I have a problem with that. Now, not only Underwood, Mr. Underwood, I noticed that they were speaking on. I also noticed that this guy, Dante Wright, he was a football player. I don't know what team he played on. He came out and you never heard nothing else after he came out. So that's why a lot of the people they take to themselves and date opposite gender just to keep themselves from being on display and judged. He came out and he was well, from what I heard, he was a good football player. He was on several teams, and he decided to come out, and now you hear nothing about him. And I think that's very wrong for society to be the way society is. And some of the kids, there are kids out there having issues with coming to be who, live their lives to who they are. And they do it just it's a lot of different things that goes on. The family turn on them and don't want to have nothing. They got to go to the streets, and who knows what happened to the kids when they go to the streets. So I wanted to speak on this DL situation, and I want to continue to try to stay within the DL. There's a lot of DLs, and it's wrong for them to mislead if they're misleading people. That's what I'm trying to say. DLs, a lot of them, they mislead and get involved with the opposite gender when they are really attracted to same gender. And a lot of how society treat uh, men and women that are attracted to same gender, society judge them, and that's why a lot of the people go DL. A lot of the kids, they run away, and terrible things happen to them because of society. What I'm trying to say. So DL is not. I met some DL guys, and they wanted to creep around and wanted to come see me. You know, I'm trans woman. Let me throw that out there. I am trans woman. So I've met several DL guys, and I'm speaking that I know, not that I heard. So I know how DL guys operate. And at one time, I put up with it, I tolerated it. And then at one time in my life, I was like, no, I can't deal with them type of guys because they will do anything by all means to keep their preference under wraps, even if it is to kill you, harm you. It has happened. I don't want to go into all of that. So I saw this guy speaking, and then I said, well, why did he go on to the Bachelor? And I picked that up some time ago. I picked it up. I said to myself, I guess you call it judging, but I'm a good judge of character. I said to myself, okay, does he really wants to be there? I didn't say it in those words, but I knew something was a little kind of, you know, suspect about Mr. Underwood. But I don't think that was the right route to go all those extremes and go to the Bachelor, be on the show Bachelor, and when he already knew what his preference was. I mean, that's too extreme. And I mean, I'm just gonna call it out that maybe he didn't know how to come out, but I had to talk about that. And speaking of Bachelor, Chris Harrison, he meant what he said. And people always say you need to get some experience. You need to go to a counselor. You need to do this. You need to do that. But people already know that it's wrong. Racism and all that. People already know that it's wrong. So, and even with the cops, when it's some like these trials that's going on, and they trying to make it seem like uh, 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 this latest issue with the taser gun and the real gun, they're trying to, and I always hear them say training, 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 training. Throw that shit, leave that alone. See, I'm cursing. Why do you need training when you already been through training? You cannot give training to the heart. That's all I have to say about that. You cannot give training to the heart. Racism is embedded, racism is there, so you cannot train. That's the real issue. It ain't got nothing to do with the training. When these officers go through the 6 months or whatever, I don't know how long they go through the training, that ain't gonna fix how they feel on the inside. There are a lot of racist people in high places. I know I didn't jump from the Bachelor, from the football player, to Chris Harrison. I'm just throwing some stuff. Now, it's another thing I want to speak on. There was a lady that they showed, another police issue. They came for her son, and she wanted to see a warrant, and they treated this lady so bad. 74 years old. They broke her arm, Miss Ruby Jones. It was on TMZ. I know that was on TMZ. They treat that lady so wrong. I don't like putting recordings because people are really picky when you put the recordings in your in these videos that we do. So the lady, they came for whatever reason. I don't know what it was about. And the son, they came to for something about a warrant. They didn't show no warrant, and so they pushed their way into the house. And the lady, they broke her arm. Oh yes, they treat this lady so wrong. That's what I mean about police brutality. The thing about police brutality is they keep getting away with it. There's no penalty. They don't do any major time. They, when they, even if they have been found guilty, and when the trial, they most of the time they are. It they don't be they're not found they're guilty, but there's no jail time. And what I say about that is, if these officers get jail time, even though, now the thing is, they are been proven to be guilty, but they still get off some kind of way. And if it was a regular citizens, we would get plenty of time to stop what's going on with this police brutality. They need to throw the books at them really heavy. I'm talking years, 20, 30 years, or however. When they kill, when these officers kill someone, and it's most of the time these young men are running away. Like most recently, now this young 13 years old. Of course, it was something that, there was a gun. I don't know what happened with that, but anyway, I heard the superintendent, not the superintendent, but the police. He's in charge, the president of the police. I forgot his name, but anyway, he threw out there gang related this and that. They in gangs, and 13. Well, they didn't know he was 13, but the point is, when the officer caught the young man, His hands was up in the air. From what I see on the video, his hands was up. There was a gun found, but it was something kind of suspect about that. Time and time again, there has to be something about that. They got to make some different changes. With these young men are running away and they shoot them in the back. And I don't understand why is it that there is a rule or whatever saying that excessive force should only be used if their life is at stake. The police officers, and most of the time, it's not. So they're getting away with so much. These police officers are getting away with so much. And I want to, well, they almost done with this trial that's going on now, and we'll see how that go with the Mr. George Floyd with the trial that of this officer that's going on, and I think they're closing it up now. It's almost come to an end. And the other Dante, I forgot his last name, how this officer with this taser and gun, she said she meant to use the taser, but she used the gun, and she's they arrested her, but she got out on bond. I don't know how that's going to go, but I don't know. I'm just saying it needs to be. They need when they are found guilty. Most of the time, they don't get the charges are knocked off some kind of way. So I needed to talk a little bit about. I know I'm stumbling over my words, you all, because I'm going to different topics. Whatever run to my mind, I'm throwing it in my video. Yes, I had to mention. Now this Miss Ruby Jones, 74 years old, that was wrong for them. And what they came there to do, they said that they went in there and beat the son up, or I don't know too much about that. Went into the son had a mental issue, mental disabled. Something happened to do with that. So, and I was like, where? So this they roughing his mother up. Where's the son? And then I heard them say there's some type of mental something going on with the son, but they goes in there. I don't know what the want was about. They goes in the room from what they said on the TMZ, and even ruffled the son up and beat the. So this is all this stuff is going on. I got to get off this. I need to get off here. I wanted to talk about that, but in my closing, what I'm going to say is, DL brothers, when you put other people's lives in what's going on with you and not giving them a choice is wrong. A lot of the DL brothers do that. And I'm speaking on brothers because time and time again, it's mostly the brothers, because women it's more acceptable for women to date men and women, but it's wrong if you're getting people involved just to keep your preference of who you dating a secret. You get other people involved, starting families, having kids, and the church. You want to please society, please your family, please church, please whoever. I mean, I'm not judging. I've been through some stuff like that. Never been ashamed of who I am, but I've dealt with a lot of DL brothers, and I've dealt with, family. I've dealt with society, period. And I'm a stronger person, lady, today than I was 20 years ago. It's more accepted, but it's still problems today. And how I feel about what people think about me, I don't. I could give a rat's ass what people think about me. That's what I'm trying to say. And a lot of you all need to have that same attitude. I know it's easier said than done, but don't get other people involved in your life and have kids and go through these extra extremes to hide who you are, uh, harming people, killing people. Trans women have gotten murdered at the hands of DL men. See, I can talk about that, but I will talk about that another time. But when I heard this guy, Carlton Underwood, the Bachelor, just came out, I'm like, he went through all those extremes just to let the world know that he attracted to the same gender. I don't know what was going on in his mind, and I'm not judging. And then this football player, Dante Wright, you don't hear nothing else from this guy when he came out and let the people know that he's attracted to the same gender. You don't hear anything, and a lot of it has to do with how society treat men and women when they come out, and it's wrong. I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for taking the time out to view this video. You all have a good day.